Hey guys, how are you today? It's Mo from ProgrammerTube. Today I want to show you how to find the largest consecutive substring in a string in C++. So if you're interested, let's jump right into it. So the idea was suggested to me by Suresh on November 30th, where he commented on one of my videos saying, can you write a C program to find the largest consecutive substring and its length in the given string? And he gave the example. The input string is ABC, IJK, MNO, PQ. So the output is supposed to be the length of 5, and the largest consecutive string here is the MNO, PQ. So let's see how we can solve this problem together. Alright, let's jump right into Visual Studio. Okay, so here I am on Visual Studio. Let's go ahead and create a new project. Click on File, New Project. Okay, from the New Project window, make sure you have Visual C++ Win32 selected. And let's go ahead and click on Console Application. And I'm going to call this Max Sequence. Click OK. And we can just simply click Finish on this page. How do we find the largest consecutive substring in C++? The example we're given is ABC, IJK, MNO, PQ, and this is the output we should produce. 5 is the size of this largest consecutive substring, and then the actual substring itself. So first, let's define a string, const char str equals, I'm gonna borrow this example. Okay, so that's our string. The next thing we want to do is iterate over the string for integer I equals 0, I is less than strlen of str plus I. So since we're using string length, we'll have to include string.h. The next thing we want to do is check the characters. If str of I plus 1, the character next to the current one, is exactly str of I, this current character, plus 1 in its ASCII table. For example, if this was 96, then this should be 97. If that's the case, then let's define here an integer len, initialize it to 1. If the string was only one letter, then the answer should be that one letter. If ++ is greater than maximum len, which means we have to define a maximum len here. So integer max len equals 0. If this was greater than the maximum len, then the maximum len now becomes the new length. So also, in addition to the length, we want to figure out maximum length starting point. So let's go back a little bit here. If 1 is the length, then we want to remember this location. So let's add another variable here, integer index equals 0. Then we can say index equals I. Now that we know the beginning of the new substring, we also want to capture that here. So we can say max len start equals index. So now we need to define also an integer max len start equals 0. Alright, otherwise we can reset here. We can say length equals 1. If the characters are out of sequence, in that case we should reset the length. Alright, so this is pretty much how we find the largest substring. At the very end, we should print out the result. Printf length equals %d. So this should be the max length we found. Okay, so now that we are able to print out the length, how do we print out the string itself? So we know the maximum length is, for example, 4 or 5 or 3 characters, and we know where it starts. So we could do a for loop here just for simplicity. For integer j equals 0, j is less than max length plus j. Next, I want to print out each character, so I could say %c str of j, but we want to start from the max len start location. That should do it. And finally, we should just put a new line character out there like this. So Ctrl F5 to compile and run. Yes. Alright, so here it says length is 5 and the result was MNOPQ. So cool, this is working. So let's try out something else. Let's maybe put this at the beginning to just verify that we're not just picking up the last substring. And let's compile and run again, Ctrl F5. It's still showing me the same thing. Alright, so one last test. We can say A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, D, E, F, for example. This should be the answer here. So let's give it a try and see. Ctrl F5. Okay, the length is 7 and it shows from 1 to 7. Alright, so that's pretty much it. This is one solution to find the largest consecutive substring inside a string. Thank you for watching.